Curiosity bent Miss Kate, but satisfaction made her straight. Yes, sir. Miss Kate was an inquiring mind. She wanted to know, and she sure enough found out. There was no question she was not going to ask. There was no mountain she was not going to climb. No rock she would not turn, just to answer the questions in her dilapidated mind. She lay in bed at night, obsessed with anger at the moon that shone so delicately in her room, for that was the only thing that stopped her from calling whomever she wanted to harass with her last inquiry. When the sun arose and the time was kosher, she would be out that door and standing on some floor in an unknown location to ask and ask and ask. To no avail would they tell. But yet, she would use their tale as her personal cell. Endless stories were written about fibs and lies. And yet, these satisfied Miss Kate, for she was an inquiring mind, and she had to know. To any lengths would she go to find who was in the know, whether or not they knew anything at all. She sat up late pounding on any keyboard that was not worn or torn by her possessive, obsessive mind, searching through innumerable articles to find the truth. She traveled on highways and byways and freeways, past seaways to seaways, and find ways to pick someone's mouth, to stick someone out, to prick someone's mind, and possibly find what they would share in kindness with her. But they all seemed to miss her, or Miss Kate them, for in this business of other people's business, you had no friend. And that was to be to her own detrimental end. For on one of her tangential quests for fame, she asked for a name that belonged to the same person she had hounded for years, and with tears and new fears, although they spared her the horror of a beatdown, they told her to settle down. As they brought her a gown stained with blood, stained with mud, stained with crud, ooh, stinky, was all she could think, as her excited pinky bobbed up and down, filling her pad with details of what she thought she saw. Until they rested the gown on the floor at her feet, all neat and sweet, they curled that gown, that blood-stained, mud-stained, crude-stained, stinky gown, causing Miss Kate to frown. The old lady who was kind enough to invite her in to fulfill her curious inquiry was the same to label her with the sin of being the cause of that gown's effect, for it was her mouth that stained the name of the woman of fame who once wore that gown around her home on quiet evenings, in the morning, sitting on the porch at sunrise and at sunsets, at times when she welcomed the moonlight, for it was the only light that shielded her from the inquiring minds of millions who knew about her personal affairs, be they real or imagined. They were Miss Kate's own words. That gown witnessed the night of the intrusion, the night of the illusion, the night of confusion that could be heard for miles around that town as the woman of fame with the slandered name ran for her life. Out of her moonlit room into her garden of tended flowers and mended bowers and offended neighbors who watched her and helped to feed the stories to Miss Kate, who had the inquiring mind and had to know. She crawled for her life among those flowers and that fresh manure that she delighted in pouring sparingly in each row, as much as Miss Kate delighted in smearing her manure across the faces and pages of millions who read her bullshit. For in her knowing, she knew nothing. The intruder recounted to the lady with the blood-stained gown a story about something he read that said she liked to be fed by different men at the same time, for she was the queen of slime, and he found it hard to find that she was refusing to let him feed her his gun, until he angrily realized that Miss Kate was full of lies, and through his hate and her ill fate he had already shot her. But it was too damn late before he came to that realization, for by then she was dead. But the words that he had read were the words that Miss Kate said, and there was no taking them back, no bringing back the lady of fame with the blood-stained gown, who was innocently gunned down because Miss Kate had been around town, inquiring and wanting to know what she knew not. But now this home of the nice old lady became a furnace of fire and guilt, and the sofa that served to comfort her was a cushion of pins, razor sharp and venomous on her buttocks. She couldn't get out of there fast enough. Miss Kate ran with her life, like the woman with the gown had run. Then she fell among weeds and dog shit because of her own bullshit smeared across the minds of millions who read her stories thinking she knew what she knew not. She got what she deserved, for when the story of how Miss Kate lay moaning in the grass that day hit the press, her next article was her last. For on that day and for weeks to come, no one read her stories. They were too busy reading the stories written about her from the people she hounded, searching to fulfill her desires for fame by smearing others' names. Yes, sir. Miss Kate was an inquiring mind. She had to know. Ah, yes. Curiosity bent her out of shape, but satisfaction got her straight.